Working Class Beer Reviews. It's looking at Dogfish Head's 60-minute IPA. I've actually had this for a while, so I looked at the date, and the production date I think is like March 2023. That's partially my fault because I have had this in the back of my fridge for a while. Oh, can't break tradition here. What am I doing? There we go. Ooh, look at it build up. Alright, while that sets up, I'm actually here at the Dogfish Head website. The 60-minute IPA says fantastically hoppy and beautifully balanced. It's hard being the sequel unless you wrote the original story. Inspired by the continual hopping process we invented with the 90-minute IPA, which I've tried, I don't know that I've done a video for. The 60-minute builds on that one-of-a-kind process and flavor, crafting a solid gold hit that's found its own identity. Brewed using boatloads of intense Northwest hops, we boiled this continually hopped IPA for a full 60 minutes, adding more than 60 hop additions continuously to create a bold and timeless flavor. Continually hopped to deliver a pungent, citrusy, grassy hop flavor without being crushingly bitter. 60-minute IPA is a surprising, suitable, or sessionable IPA for the craft enthusiast. You'll see why this sequel has become our best-selling beer and why you'll find yourself coming back to it again and again. So it's 6% ABV, 60 IBU, so that's pretty standard for an IPA. Original release date was 2003. I'm glad they put that because sometimes it's nice to know how far back a beer goes. It's style is an IPA. The color is golden amber, which we kind of see. Golden amber. I got this tulip glass. This is a newer one. I had one that I got from Dollar Tree originally, and I found this one. I can't hardly see it, but the stem is like squared off, like crystal kind of. I got it at a thrift store in Clinton, the Good Samaritan. I got a delivery spot right next door to it on Thursdays, and sometimes I'll swing in there and just kind of see what they have. Here, get this beer in here so you can see the label. Aroma, hop forward with piney and citrus notes. Flavor, hoppy with moderate bitterness and crisp finish. Mouthfeel, crisp with slightly lingering bitterness. Glassware recommendations is IPA glass, which is that's why I consider this. Cheese pairing, vintage cheddar. Food pairing, spicy foods, pesto, grilled salmon, soy-based dishes. Okay, pizza. There you go. So that's a pretty good description. I appreciate that. Sometimes with some breweries they'll tell you, although they didn't give like the malt and hop varieties, which is kind of surprising, but they give you a decent amount of other information. So the head sticks around, nice and foamy. It looks like it'll definitely leave clinging ring in the glass as we drink it. Fairly clear, somewhat hazy, but not much. I mean, it's not considered a hazy IPA. This is your typical. So in 2003, that's when IPAs were starting to become more up and coming. Around that time, wheat beers and brown ales or stuff were all the popularity, and so were like stouts and porters. So IPAs started coming up after that, but I think most breweries were producing some sort of an IPA by that point. So let's give it a smell. Yeah, definitely citrusy, florally type hops, so piney, I guess. Yeah, piney. It's definitely got, and the age on this thing, had it been fresh, if I had done this review last year, yeah, it would probably be even more so. The longer an IPA sits, the more the hoppiness is subdued in the flavor. So I'm not surprised. It could have been a lot more pungent. So let's give it a sip. Medium mouthfeel. Definite hoppy bitterness still, surprisingly. So with this being in a can, probably helps protect a lot of that, and it's been in the fridge too. It's not sat out on a shelf somewhere. definitely helps. Very good. So yeah, I've had the 90. If I see the 90 minute, they're fairly expensive. This for a 6-pack is close to $10, like normal craft beer is like 9 something. I've seen the 90 minute. I can't remember if it's 6 packs or if it's 4 packs. Now they have 120 minute. That's 4 packs, but it's pretty strong. It's like above 10%, I think, in strength, and it's I've had it a good while back. Wasn't doing reviews at the time, so if I see it again, I might have to grab it to do reviews. I like most all beer styles to an extent. I can't drink IPAs constantly, but I do enjoy them. They have their place. Summertime seems to be the time to really enjoy a nice bold IPA, whereas in the wintertime is when you get cozy and snuggly and sit on the couch, and if you want a beer you might drink a porter or a stout, bourbon barrel aged or chocolate something or another, or just your regular old standard, like a Guinness stout maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so it's summertime. This seems appropriate. I had a couple other beers in line to try, and I was like, I think it's because I've had this for so long, I felt like I needed to filter it out so I can move along. I didn't want it to sit any longer than I had to. Let's take another sip. Well, actually, that foam's going to be in the way. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's it's definitely not light. I'm sure there probably doesn't say the calories or anything on here. Brewed and canned by Dogfish Head Craft Brewery, Milton, Delaware, in collaboration with the Boston Beer Company. So Samuel Adams may brew some of these for them, contract brewed. I forgot that Samuel Adams would do that, but they're up there in Boston, Massachusetts, so New England. Off-centered people drink responsibly. Okay. 6% ABV. Continually hop for 60 minutes for an intense yet enticing hop-centric experience. Okay. So they're based out of Delaware, but they're in collaboration with Boston Beer Company, Boston, Massachusetts. So yeah, yeah, because I think Samuel Adams does like the Twisted Tea, the Not Your Father's maybe, or one of those, and some other beers. They do some contract brewing for, and they may own some of these brands as well, but I don't think they own Dogfish Head. I'm sure they're still pretty independent, and I know that they're highly regarded. I didn't even look on like Beer Advocate or anything like that. I bet it gets a great, high rating. It's as far as the reviews I've seen on YouTube, people love it, and I can see why. It's really well made. Like I said, not something I drink on the regular. A 6-pack would last me for a little bit, and by that time I'd want to move on to something else. Just the strong IPAs can be a lot after a while. It's just so, especially when you get the full flavored ones and not like the sessions. They just so full bodied and they cling and they linger, which is good for tasting, but over a period of time, and they're high in calories. And I'm sure this is close to 200 calories, if not almost, and probably plenty of carbs as well. So it's definitely not something that you'd want to drink if you're trying to keep the weight off, which I should be, but I'm not very disciplined. Yeah, if you guys have anybody watching this has any other information that I missed about Dogfish Head and 60-minute IPA, feel free to leave it in the comments, and let me know what your thoughts and feelings. Maybe IPAs really aren't your style. Most beer enjoyers, people that like to review beer and are part of groups and stuff like that. I'm not part of any. I'm not really on Facebook, so I'm not with any Facebook groups or any online groups. I just signed up on Reddit, and I'm sure if I looked, there may be some good Reddit sub threads or subreddits, whatever you want to call it, that deal with craft beer and maybe even Dogfish Head in particular. I don't know. But I might look around and see what I can find, because the way Reddit works, it kind of reminds me a little more of old school like message board and chat rooms and stuff like that. I miss those days. But anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching this, guys. And I will see you guys later.